Hey everyone, it's Talk to Meshif.
And I'm Axion, and we're going to be casting a 1v1 on Shakura's Plateau between Chakku, the red Protoss in the top right, and in the top left is Flipboy, the blue Terran. And while the game's getting underway, we'd just like to give a quick shout out to everyone who's sent in videos so far. You guys are awesome. For giving the channel, some love. We're trying to get to as many replays as we can, as quickly as we can. We're a little limited by time because we're at school right now, but we're doing the best we can. And we'd like to say we're approaching 1,000 views, and we've got a pretty special game to cast.
Yeah, for a little celebratory cast when we do hit 1,000 upload views, which hopefully, unless you guys all desert us overnight, hopefully should be in the next few days. So we've got a game that we will be casting that is pretty much the most epic game you could ever imagine. That's not a high-level game, I guess. Obviously, there's a lot of sick, epic games with high-level players, but at the lower level, it's a pretty insane game, and I just want to preface it, give you guys a little something to be excited for. In this game, there is a single battle where in less than 1 minute and 15 seconds, from one team alone, it's a 2v2, one team alone loses over 20,000 worth of resources in less than 1 minute and 15 seconds. So definitely a sick game. We're trying to get you guys excited for that, and we hope you guys will enjoy that when it comes out. Look for that in the next few days.
Yeah, and it looks like pretty standard openings from both players right now. Looks like I almost got tricked into thinking the second supply depot by Flipboy's ramp was a little bit early, but it's just a shadow, so he's got that queued up to go. I'm actually curious when that's going to come out. Is that coming out right up here? Okay, so that second depot's at 16. That's okay. It's a little bit early. I'd like to see it one supply later at 17, but that's not a huge deal. And I also would have liked to see a gas from Flipboy at 13. Maybe he's going through some type of just marine push without gas. We'll have to see. It looks like Chakku is going pretty standard, although he does have a gas up and is only now getting probes in it to mine.
Yeah, we do see the cybernetics core following the gateway over here for Chakku, and he does have an extra probe mining that gas, so he should be wary of that. That probe could be doing some mineral harvesting instead. So always try to pay attention to that. If you can always see one drone, SCV, probe, whatever, just chilling right outside the building, that means they're not. That means there's one too many in that line for harvesting. So get among minerals. And now we do see the second refinery going up for Flipboy here, and he's just getting 2 SCVs on his original refinery.
Yeah, that second barracks is almost done, and if we flip over to Flipboy's expansion here, I really like what Chakku is doing. He just has a probe set on patrol, so he'll kind of know when he's going to push out or when he's going to expand.
Yeah, that is a pretty smart play. He's not playing Zerg, so he's not going to have to put a pylon down to prevent the fast expand or anything like that. But putting him on patrol so he doesn't, doesn't show up in the as an idle worker. So that's pretty smart play. I like that. And we do see mostly just Marines being created. We do have a tech lab, and we do see our first Marauder on the way as well. So finally, you're going to start putting that gas to use, as he does have 2 refineries. So he's going to start getting a fair amount of gas to be able to spend.
And it looks like Chakku is going for a 3 warp gate at the moment, with his warp gate technology just about to be done. I would like to see him maybe pumping out a few more probes. Although now here goes the robo facility. So 3 gate robo, it looks like, from Chakku. And let's take a look at Flipboy's base, because he's doing something pretty interesting.
Yeah, we see the command center go down.
Yeah, he's expanding. This seems like a pretty early expand. 2 racks fast expansion. It's something I like to do from time to time. If you can pull it off, so it's definitely going to head in economy. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. If you have more expansions than your opponent, you're ahead in economy. Good job, Axion. Nice analysis of the inner workings of the game.
Yeah, I mean you said it very very eloquently. That expansion is going to give him quite an economic edge. But of course, the Protoss, the Protoss warp gates can be very powerful. He's got a bunch of zealots already. You know, he has a bunch of gas saved up, so you know when he starts using this robo facility, either for some immortals or maybe he's even going to try to tech to Colossus. You know, he will have the gas to get out a few of those units, and you know, we'll see what Flipboy can do. He's only operating out 2 racks, and he's got an early eBay with 2 upgrades on the way: the infantry armor one and infantry weapons one.
Yeah, I'd like if he would cancel the infantry armor one upgrade. There's really no reason to have that queued, because it's going to be about another minute before weapons one is going to finish. As he lifts his command center off, head towards the natural, and Chakku is going to spot this. But if we just go to Chakku's base, he's just now utilizing that robo bay, getting the observer out. I do really like the sentries down here. I do like those, and they can force field the ramp, prevent anything from getting up there. And with the +1 weapons on the way, as well as the robotic stay, I think that he's either going for some sort of +1 weapons timing push, or maybe a colossal timing push. If you can get 2 or 3 of them, it's a really good time to push out when you get the thermal lamp.
So yeah, it looks like Chakku is going to push out here with a few zealots and a few sentries. Good job to move Flipboy to move his army down in the front here. You know, if he left them up here and was just not paying attention, you know, this force could have came in, and Chakku could have force fielded the ramp right here, and then could have taken out this. Well, actually, with just the zealots, he may not have been able to take out the command center. But definitely good to keep those forces out in front. And it looks like he's going to send 1 Marine in to scout, maybe take a watchtower. But he's definitely going to see what's on the way.
Yeah, and combat shields is almost done, as well as the Star Force, so we should be seeing medevacs momentarily. And it looks like Chakku has finally taken this time to expand, as that Marine just gets sliced in half by a zealot. He did not stand a chance. But I would say, at the moment, it's going to be pretty even, but I can see Flipboy coming out on top because he does have that +1 weapons upgrade, and he does have stint hack.
Yeah, finally we see those Guardian shields going up by the sentries, but they're going to be taken out pretty quickly. But these Zealots are going to be able to do a fair amount of damage, you know, to these Marines, these Marauders, as they get in there and slice. A little bit, he's trying to get us around, and I think that may have cost him actually a unit. He probably could have sniped this. Oh, he's just able to snipe that last, Marauder. Jeez, I could not even remember the name of Marauder, but these 2 Marines barely surviving with just 16 HP each.
I'd say a little bit of a mistake there from Flipboy not having the concussive shells researched earlier. Because had that happened, he really could have focused down the Stalkers and the Sentries, and then just microed back against those Zealots and taken a lot less losses. And it looks like he's going for really diverse play. I mean, he's getting a Siege Tank out, Siege Tech, and then if we flip over to Chakku's base, it does look like the Colossus is on the way, although extended thermal lamp has not been researched yet. He's probably going to do that once these 2 gaps finish at his expansion and he can get those saturated.
Yeah, it looks like he's warping some more Zealots, so he's trying to keep that ground army up. Oh, and here we go. We've got a Twilight Council on the way, so perhaps thinking about getting charge for give those Zealots an advantage so they can more quickly slice through the Bio Ball army of Flipboy. Or maybe he's going to try to tech up to Dark Templars, or maybe even just get a blink for these Stalkers, and you know, try to come in here and maybe blink up. Right here, you can blink right up into Flipboy's main. So definitely something to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, you could even go High Templar, which are great against the Bio Ball. And I also think, in regards to Dark Templar, I feel like people really underutilize them. They kind of use them as a shock unit to just kind of go in there, do some SCV kills, and then move out. But I forget the name of the player that did this to me, but I was in a one-on-one once, and the guy just kind of incorporated 2 or 3 Dark Templar into his normal army. And when he pushed, when I was done killing most of his units, all I could just hear was just swiping, and a lot more of my force had died than should have, just because it's often hard to think about, are there Dark Templar in an army when you're in the midst of a battle?
Yeah, I think the player you're talking about might be named Talk to Meshif. As in case any of you guys have been keeping an eye on the channel, we uploaded one of my games, my only 1v1 game that we casted, where I went some DTs and did pretty much the exact same thing what happened to Axion. So they're definitely very powerful and definitely underutilized. So I'm going to try to use them more in my Protoss future, but we'll see how how long I have as a Protoss future. It's not looking too good, but looks like Flipboy is moving out. The Observer pretty much following the army, knowing exactly what they're doing. So he's going to pull his ground army down here to help defend, and it looks like Extended Thermal Lance is almost halfway done. So when that finishes, he's going to have a big advantage with these Colossi.
Yeah, and as they're about to engage, he needs to get these tanks to siege up. They'd really be doing a lot better if they were sieged at the moment, with the Marine ball in front of them. Although maybe with the force advantage that Chakku has, they're going to die anyway. Maybe they would have died quicker had they sieged. But, yeah. I mean, definitely a win for Chakku there. His Extended Thermal Lance is almost done. Ground weapons is almost done. And it seems that expanding again is Flipboy. I like this. If this can somehow go unnoticed, can you see that with the watchtower?
Let me find the watchtower here. I'm not sure. They just moved out, and yeah, he did see that being built. I'm trying to find the units there. So yeah, he did see that going up. He's going to bring Zealots right up there, and he's going to be able to take this out. Hopefully he's going to force the cancel. But if you look at the resources lost tab, Flipboy just a little bit behind, or coming out the loser on that. He's down 300 resources, and he's lost a lot more units. So he's a little bit behind. It looks like that is the command center does get canceled.
Yeah, and Cloaked Banshees are now... Well, I thought they are cloaked. Yes, Cloaked Banshees are out on the field. Just one of them. This is kind of another unit that I've been messing around with a little bit. Integrating Banshees into a Bioball army can also be very effective because people really just underestimate how much ridiculous damage they do. And they're doing 2 shots at 12 damage apiece, so it's 24 damage at 1.25 for their weapon speed. And I mean, they really can do a bunch of damage. Well, I'm talking a big engagement here. He needs to get these Marines and Marauders in front of the tanks there. Great tank position on the high ground. They're going to take out these Stalkers. And it looks like Flipboy is going to come out ahead here. He's not going to lose this natural. And, you know, good positioning on those tanks there.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a bad time for him to move in. He had the Observer here, so he should have seen these tanks on the ledge. And with their splash damage, they were really able to soften up that army for the rest of the Marauders and Marines to take out. What I really would like to see him do is research Blink. And he finally threw down a few more warp gates, which is also something I was going to suggest that he do earlier, as he does have the resources. But if he'd researched Blink, he would have been able to, at the bottom, right behind the refineries, at Flipboy's natural expansion, he could blink up on this ledge and use his Colossi to just walk up there and take out a bunch of SUVs, and then just blink out, step down the ledge, and you know, before the army could really help, or he'd even engage this Bioball, because without the support of the siege tanks on the hill, he would definitely have the advantage with a couple Colossi and a bunch of Stalkers against this Bioball army. So if he'd used that terrain to his advantage, I think that could have really helped him there.
Yeah, and it looks like right now, something like, he did a couple seconds ago, he had about 600 minerals. And we've got some extra minerals and not a lot of gas, which was the case. Now he's hovering up around 400. Just warping some Zealots, and his Zealots are great. He's actually researching Charge, which will help that out, and he's throwing down a second Expo down there, about the middle of the map on the right, as well as getting 2 Stargates, which just completed. I'm not sure I quite agree with the Stargates right now. He's not really going to have the gas to support those and Colossi until this 3rd Expo really gets up and running. So I would have liked to see him wait a little bit longer on that until he could get these 2 refineries going on the 3rd Expo. Yeah, it's just going to be tough on the resources he has. But I will say, he is going upgrade crazy at the moment. Weapons level 3 is